Charlton Sports Weekly here at Anytime Fitness. Second edition this year. First for me, though. So.
That's right. Welcome Glenn back
right
on the set, recovering from eye surgery. So.
Maybe I can still see something anyway.
That's right.
But anyway,
glad to have you back.
Appreciate it. We're going to talk about various topics, different levels of sports going on in Charlton County. We have rec football is beginning to start. We've got teams are practicing now. Just got their pads, so you know how that goes.
Oh yeah, I remember those rec days. I'm sure some of those kids are getting their first taste of getting hit and hitting somebody with those pads on. So hopefully here in the next few weeks they'll be lining it up on Saturday mornings. I know you'll be glad to be out there on early Saturday morning.
Oh yeah, especially after a late night.
I don't miss that too much.
Especially after a late night Friday night out of town somewhere. But
don't worry, I got a grandson now, so I'm sure in the next 7-8 years I'll probably be back in the fold out there, regretting getting up that early on Saturday morning too.
But anyway, like I said, they'll be starting soon. I believe that Dolores and Richard going to a meeting, trying to probably discuss scheduling a little bit tomorrow. So,
right.
I believe cheerleading will report. I believe it's September the 11th. I've been told. Not exactly sure if that's the day, but we believe that's right. That's the day they will report out to Deuce Lloyd, and we can get those split up on the teams.
Yep. Well, what about some high school softball, Glenn? I know you usually take care of that. What's the latest on the high school?
Well, a lot of it's been rain.
A lot of rain out.
I believe, the last 2 home games they've started possibly and didn't get enough innings in to make them complete games. They did go to Turner County last Thursday, beat Turner. I believe it was 9-4. I believe was the score. It was a back and forth game early on. Then I think we had one big inning, about the 5th inning or so, and pulled ahead.
Away.
So, but right now they're 6-6 overall, and I believe 3-1 in the region, which I believe record-wise is second place in the region.
Okay.
But we know with power rankings and all that, if you're second, that doesn't do you a whole lot of good.
No. Not anymore. Things ain't the same. So hopefully they can at least finish well in the sub-region.
Right. Well, there's no sub-region. It's a straight region schedule since we lost Bacon and we lost Atkinson.
Oh, that's right.
So they're playing a straight region schedule now.
All right.
They are in Lanier County as we speak right now. Be home tomorrow against Clinch County.
All right.
I believe that's 5:30.
5:30, first pitch.
Right, weather permitting.
Yeah.
Weather permitting. We have every pitch to carry it out.
All right, and that game will be broadcast live on Charlton Sports Net here with Adam and Chris.
Right,
bringing you the game, and you'll be sitting in too.
No, I'll be working. I've got to handle football practice out there. So, but Bethune football, they had their scrimmage last week against St. Mary's Middle.
Right.
They had 1/4 of the younger kids, and our younger kids performed like younger kids. St. Mary's scored twice on them in their 6 minutes of offense, and our 6 minutes of offense we didn't score at all. But then the last 3 quarters it was pretty much starters against starters, and we ended up winning 6-0.
Well, that's good.
Showed a fairly good passing game. Several different quarterbacks. A tight end by the name of DeMontre Jernigan. He caught several passes down the middle, including one that was thrown up when I saw it. I was thinking, oh my goodness, because there's like 3 guys on top of him. But he went up, snatched it.
He went and got it, huh?
And broke away from the tackles and took it in for the score.
What about the Shepherd kid? Is he playing wide receiver or tight end or?
He played defensive end on defense. I'm not.
He didn't play no offense.
I think he may be on offensive line.
Okay, all right. I thought he was playing tight end. But maybe he was playing offensive line. But
right. But
the time I've seen him practice, he stood out too.
Okay. Like I said, the front three on the defensive line, you had Shepard and Jernigan at the ends, and you had Mookie Smith, the snapper's boy.
Playing nose.
He's playing nose, and those three created havoc. I mean, they looked really well, so hopefully that'll carry on. And
yeah, hopefully if they get back to that same championship game against Camden this year, maybe Camden won't pull half their B team and combine their middle schools.
Right.
So, all right, what else we got going?
Well, we're finishing up with Bethune. They go to Bacon County Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. It'll be their first regular season game, so I don't know who set the time on that, but that's like rec ball.
I'm sure they appreciate whoever did.
Right.
We're not going to carry that game live, but we're going to rebroadcast.
All right. Adam's going to be there filming, but there won't be a commentator to go with it. So, but
It'll be broadcast.
We're going to bring that one home and add the commentary to it.
Okay. So.
So that game will be available next week for them to watch online. If
On
any
tape
parents.
on tape delay.
Yeah. Kind of like 3 o'clock Sunday morning on ESPN.
But right now we'll probably go to a break here, and then we'll come back and talk about some Indian football.
Anytime Fitness Folkston, located in the Harvey Shopping Center, has everything you need to stay in shape or get that look you've always wanted. Upright conventional tanning beds, a Zumba room, weight room, and state-of-the-art treadmills. They also have supplements and tanning supplies. Anytime Fitness Folkston is also the proud sponsor of Charlton Sports Weekly with Glenn Hughes and Stan Wilds. See Stan to get fit anytime.
The Folkston Pharmacy, your original hometown pharmacy for over 45 years, is located at 3885 Main Street. At Folkston Pharmacy, we accept most major insurance coverage, including AARP, WellCare, Medicaid, Amerigroup, and many more. We also have a $1 value aisle for everyday items such as health and beauty, cleaning, and even snacks. Stop by and check us out today. Now, let's go get 'em Indians.
Welcome back to Charlton Sports Weekly. Time to talk some Indian football. Finally got Finally got to the real deal. That's right. They got tired of beating on each other and went up to Nahunta and beat up on some herons.
Beat up on the ditch chickens.
That's right. Like I said, things started kind of a little bit slow for them the other night.
They did. Brantley, we gave the ball back to them down there on the muff punt. But bowed our backs up and then held them 4 downs in a row, first and goal. And I was kind of worried about the offense for that first drive, them not moving the ball too well. But they settled down and moved the ball, and 20-0 win. I'll take it.
Oh yeah, I said 15 power ranking points.
That's right. That's right. And that very well. Being this year everything's changed as far as playoffs are concerned, and you need all those points you can just in case you don't finish first in the region. I believe they only come into effect if there's a tie or
after the region champion is determined. All the other available slots, go to pecking order of whatever your rating is. So.
Okay. All right. Well, that's 15. Put them in the kitty, man. And I'm sure we'll get more than that this week playing Ware County.
Well, we get 8 just for showing up. So.
Well, we're going to get 8 points at least.
Right. but anyways, going back to the game, like I said, we started slow. Defense played well the entire game.
Defense played real well, especially the front 8.
Like I said, the Brantley offense wasn't real complicated, which helped us out some. So,
no.
But I always like to mention your son. He had a good ball game, 7 tackles, I believe it was, led the team.
Yep.
I believe his sidekick, Lance Thompson.
Lance,
I believe he had 6. And
yep.
believe there were several others with 5 and 4. So I'm sure Coach Harris had a good time deciphering tackles in that massive humanity that was there.
Yeah, I told Brent last week with the offense they ran, I said if they give it to the fullback, you should have plenty of tackles.
Right.
So we had a scare with him. He took a big hit to the side of the knee, but had to set out a couple series. But he's all right and going to be 100% come Friday night.
Well, so. Good. Offensively, like I said, we struggled a little bit early on. We got some passing going, got some running. Tyree Savage,
yeah,
I think he ended up with 82, 83 yards. Just carried the ball 7 times, I believe. So
that's a heck of an average.
Great average. We got passing, like I said, passing game. I believe it was Devin Jones caught the first touchdown pass.
Right.
I believe it was 35 yards, and
C.J.
Maynor caught the last one for, I believe it was a 15-yarder.
Yeah, well, it was, but he had caught a decent yardage pass to set that ball up.
Right, he caught back-to-back passes there, and
so that was a good, quick score. I was glad to see, right there at the beginning of the fourth quarter, coaches play some of the JV squad, let them get in,
right,
get some playing time. I thought that was nice. Keep your starters fresh, keep them ready to go next week.
And like I said, Trey Harrington, he scored the middle touchdown on I believe it was about a 9 or 10 yard run. So,
what was Trey's yards? You remember right off the top of your head?
Passing?
Yeah.
He had about, it was pretty balanced. I think we had like 132 passing, 134 rushing, or vice versa. I can't remember exactly, but
that's good. Good
balanced
offense.
I think Trey added 40 yards on the ground himself. So
yeah, he had a few runs there that were substantial yards. So if he can keep that up, if the line can give him this week a little bit more time, and I just wish sometimes when he's out there running for his life, some of them receivers come back to him. Like
I said, we've got some young receivers.
Yeah, we do.
They're gaining experience. I believe I saw on the Coach Mack show he was talking about we had 7 different kids catch passes the other night. So.
I noticed that in the stands there. And there was more than 7 kids that the ball was thrown to.
Right.
So probably a couple of those receivers that didn't catch passes. There was at least 8 or 9 kids that the ball was thrown to, had opportunities to catch the ball there. So we can rotate some receivers in and out, keep them fresh. Maybe,
Oh, some of them playing defense. You need to do that.
Oh yeah, and let them take them. Hopefully, the cornerbacks will be playing both ways too for everybody. Keep them on their toes running.
But moving on to this week's game, we've got the Gators from Ware County invading our swamp.
Yeah, they coming from their swamp down to our swamp.
I think ours was the original, though.
I think so. But they're 5A.
Right,
school.
It's going to be a test. Depth is going to be an issue this week.
That's going to be the biggest issue, I think. I've looked at the film on that Brent gets sent to him from the coaches, and I think starter for starter, we could probably play down for down with where they're going to run the ball a lot, and I've noticed just looking at it, when they run the ball, they're going to send the tight end into motion, and wherever that tight end goes, they're going to run right behind him.
Well,
so hopefully we can just follow the tight end
that's true.
And find the ball. But they do run a lot of kids in and out, though. So.
But should be a big crowd. I'm expecting Ware to bring a whole bunch of people and fill up our visitor stands.
I heard they're bringing in end zone bleachers.
Well, there's plenty of room on the gym side for bleachers.
Yeah. So it should be one of the biggest games at the start of the season that we've had and seen here in several years.
Right.
So, maybe since that 2000 Camden game.
That's
Camden
true. Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a real good game. But if we can, if our starters can just keep their energy up, you know, it's gonna be tit for tat. And,
right.
And if we don't win the game, I do think that they're not gonna blow us out, and we will keep it respectable. But you know, who knows? Who knows? I think we can play with them. So.
Like I said, you know, until depth probably becomes a factor, it's going to be close,
yeah,
you know, and hopefully they, like I said, they can, you know, reach down deep inside and see what they got in.
Yeah.
And
you got to reach down and see what you're made of.
That's it.
You got to remember all those hot days in the weight room, all those days running sprints early in the morning. So we're conditioned well.
We are. Coach Mack does a good job with that.
So we'll hang with them. I think Ware County's coming down here thinking this is a warm-up game for them. So according to some of the guys on the event, on the 5A event.
Oh, I hadn't been there this week.
Yeah, go to the 5A board. There's some of them big talking it.
But like I said, you know, even if you don't win, you're getting 8 power ranking points. I saw on the Georgia High School site the official power ranking numbers. The first listing of it will come out next Wednesday. I'm assuming for all sports.
I guess that's going to be the high school football BCS.
Right. I believe Max Preps is. I believe you can find them on there too. So.
All right, I'll have to check that out.
I think they're the official power ranking people of Georgia now. So.
Max Preps. All right.
But
that game will be a 7:30 or 8 o'clock kickoff.
It's 7:30
kickoff. 7:30 kickoff. It'll be carried live right here on CharltonSportsNet.com.
Hopefully you can make it there live, though. We need all the people there we can.
Yeah, if you can't make it, tune in online, watch the game. But if you can make it, even if it's raining, get your butt out there and get in the stands.
That's right. A little rain never hurt nobody.
That's right, especially in this heat. It'd probably help somebody.
But anyway, we're going to take a break right now, and then we'll come right back and we'll talk a little college football.
That's right.
United First Federal Credit Union has been a part of Charlton County since 2001 and has been providing great service to our members since 1943. United First now offers mobile banking and email alerts. Mobile banking lets you check your balance from your cell phone, while email alerts notifies you when a significant event happens in your account. Both are easy to set up and are free to United First members. United First helps you afford life. All accounts are federally insured by NCUA. Okefenokee Rural Electric Membership Corporation offers more than dependable electrical energy at a competitive price. Quality service is provided by a friendly and professional staff trained to meet your every electrical power need, whether residential, commercial, or industrial. If you have any questions or need information, call us at 1-800-262-5131. Okefenokee REMC, owned by those we serve. A proud sponsor of this year's Indian football broadcast.
T&T Building Supply is located about a half-mile past US 1 and the 301 split, north of Folkston, right next to Taylor Timber Company. They have everything you need for your home improvement projects, with a wide selection of lumber, hardware, millwork, plumbing, and electrical supplies, concrete and masonry, power and hand tools, nails, and roofing supplies. They also have a large selection of mobile home hardware. T&T Building Supply is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet.
All right, we're back for a final segment here. We're going to do some college football picks, just like we done last year. We're going to have 10 to 12 games each week, and mostly teams in the South, because we don't follow too many Pac-10 or Pac-12 or Big 12 or Big East or
they don't play real football out there anyway, so what does it matter?
Big 10 plays old man style football, you know. So we more down here. So the first game though is a Big East game, only because it's the Thursday night game. So let's go ahead and get it knocked out of the way. All right, we got Pittsburgh at Cincinnati.
Well, we got two teams I know absolutely nothing about, so I'm going to flip a coin and just say Cincinnati.
That's a good pick because Pittsburgh got the brakes beat off of them by Youngstown State last week.
Okay, well,
I'll take Cincinnati at home, too.
I wasn't sure if that was the Bengals and the Steelers or the Reds and the Pirates you was picking.
That's the Panthers and the Bearcats,
okay.
Whatever a Bearcat is. All right, we got Penn State at Virginia.
That one could be interesting. I know Penn State played well last week till I think they ran out of gas and depth and all that with all their problems they've had, but I really don't know a whole lot about Virginia, but I'm going to pick them.
I don't blame you. I think Penn State, they lost to the University of Ohio.
That's true.
Not Ohio State. And Virginia, I watched them play about a quarter and a half, and they look pretty decent, although they were playing Richmond.
Right.
But I'll take Virginia.
They was
I'll
playing
take Virginia.
playing the itsy bitsy Spiders, huh?
Yeah, but you got to remember that same team a couple years ago beat Virginia Tech. So I'll take Virginia, though. All right, the next game has a little bit of local flavor to it. The U, Miami, is heading out to Manhattan, Kansas to play Kansas State Wildcats, who Adam Davis from here in Charlton County plays as starting defensive end for. So we got the Miami Hurricanes, who look fairly good last week. I hadn't seen Kansas State play this year, but I do know these teams played last year in Miami, and Kansas State won by 4.
Right.
So with that, I think I'll take Kansas State at home.
I'm going to agree with you there, but like I said, I watched Miami early on. They was getting killed.
Yeah, and came back.
I flipped the channel and I flipped it back, and it's like, whoa, what's going on here?
I done the same thing. They were down 14-0 at Boston College, and I was thinking, well, this is the same old Miami team, overhyped, and turned it back, and Miami had a 2-touchdown lead.
Right.
So,
but good luck to Adam Davis.
Yeah, good luck to Adam if he watches. I know he keeps up with some of his folks back here, but we hope I'll be rooting for him. All right, next game. Texas A&M gets their first SEC game. Florida comes knocking into town out in College Station. So we got the Gators at Texas A&M. What you think?
It's going to be a close game, I think. Texas A&M's the crowd at Texas A&M it's a different atmosphere out there. But saying that, Florida's used to playing in those kind of atmospheres. So
in the SEC, there's a lot more hostile atmospheres. LSU, Auburn, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida Field. Yeah. Who else am I missing? Tennessee. I mean, those are all hostile atmospheres. Florida's used to playing in that. So.
Right. Like I said, Florida, they struggled last week, but lots of teams struggle first game of the year, and I think getting up for Bowling Green and getting up for Texas A&M's two different things right there. So I think they'll be ready to play. And as much as it pains me to say, I'll pick the Gators to win.
I'm going to take the Gators also.
We're going to have to pick one different than me.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I'm going to take the Gators. I think they go out there. I wish, Texas A&M's got a new quarterback, new coach. I know Texas A&M's going to throw the ball.
Right.
So if the Gators can cover their receivers, they should win. So I'll take the Gators.
All right.
All right, next game, East Carolina at South Carolina. My Gamecocks won last Thursday, opening night. First game of the year over Vandy. Tough game, but the Pirates come knocking into town this week. So,
well, I don't feel the Pirates are the quality of Vanderbilt. You know, people think Vanderbilt from the years and years of losing.
I know.
But, you know, the last couple of years, Vanderbilt's they're tough to play.
Vanderbilt
they're scrappy.
Vanderbilt's nobody's homecoming game anymore.
Right.
Vanderbilt's a scrappy team. They made a bowl game last year. I expect them to play good enough and make another bowl game this year. But I'm a Carolina fan, man. So
East Carolina.
East Carolina's my third favorite team, actually. But I'm taking my Gamecocks.
Like I said, with quarterback situation at South Carolina, you're not sure what his situation is, but I think with Lattimore running the ball and they've got some good receivers, so you know I think South Carolina's too much for them also.
Yeah. All right, this next game's actually real interesting. Auburn at Mississippi State. Mississippi State played a nobody team last week and blew them out. Auburn played Clemson.
That was a good ball game.
And that was probably the best game I watched all weekend. That game came down to the last quarter, and Clemson pulled it out, I think, by a touchdown.
It was
26-19 or something like that.
It was close.
But at any rate, Texas A&M's the favorite. But I can't. I don't.
Mississippi State.
I'm sorry, Mississippi State's the favorite. Texas A&M was just on TV up there, but Mississippi State's the favorite. But I think Auburn's going to be too much for them. I'll take the Tigers.
Well, I don't think Mississippi State's really good anyway. They rarely are, so I got to go along with you again. Go with Auburn. I think it's going to come down to the last pick.
I think so. All right, next pick. I'm sure we'll pick the same team on this one too. The University of Washington. Who knows? A Pac-12 team. Who would have figured? Comes into they're going to play the Bayou Bengals, so they heading down to LSU, I think LSU would be too much for them.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind. There's no defense played in the Pac-10, if you ask me.
No.
So they're going to find out what it's like to get hit, and I think LSU pretty much rolls in that one.
Yep. All right, next game, North Carolina State goes up to UConn. North Carolina State took it on the chin from Tennessee last Friday night, got beat by 2 touchdowns. They were a fairly good team last year, but they are going to UConn, so I'm going to have to take the Wolfpack.
You mean the Huskies?
No, North Carolina State's the Wolfpack,
Okay.
UConn's the Huskies.
All right, I thought you said they was going up there. You was going to have to take the... But anyways, we digress here.
That's right.
UConn is not Tennessee. That's
No.
all I need to say. North Carolina State.
All right. Ball State at Clemson. I don't know how in the world this game got on my picks list here, but
Let's
that's a no-brainer.
Let's just say Clemson and move on.
Clemson. All right, this comes down here. A couple more games. Game I'm going to be at this weekend. Brent's going up to the Citadel. They've invited him to come up for a game day visit, and they're going to be hosting Georgia Southern. So Citadel's my favorite 1AA team, so I'm taking them. Although Georgia Southern, I like them too. So.
All right, Brent, I love you and everything, but I'm going to pick Georgia Southern in this one.
All right, now so we finally differed on one. I knew we would on that one.
Don't show the recruiters that part of the video.
I know. All right, last pick. This is your team. We got Georgia at Mizzou.
That's
University of Missouri, first game in the Southeastern Conference.
I said Georgia looked well in spots, and then they didn't look so well in spots against Buffalo. They had a bunch of players suspended for that game. Not sure if they'll be back or not yet. So hopefully they'll be back and be full strength on defense. They look good throwing the deep ball. Freshman running back Todd Gurley
looked real good.
And he was supposed to have been the second best out of North Carolina
yeah,
last year.
I know.
But he had 100 yards rushing, ran a kickoff back for 100 yards, scored 3 touchdowns overall. So
in his first game ever.
First game ever.
First game ever. I was impressed with Gurley.
Going to Missouri, it's going to be. They're going to be fired up because this is their first game. Got some players talking some trash on it, whatever. But anybody that knows me knows there ain't but one pick. So go Dogs.
All right. Well, I think if those 3 defensive backs ain't playing, it's like I was saying earlier. Mizzou's got 5 receivers, all of them over 6'4". If Georgia's missing defensive backs, and I wasn't real impressed with their defense too much last week against Buffalo. I know a lot of teams play down to the competition though. So that's to be expected. Just look at Florida, what they done last week.
Like I said, it's a different motivation level here.
But you know, Mizzou's going to be fired up for sure. Mizzou's got a quarterback that a lot of folks in the SEC don't know about. He's a good dual threat quarterback. They're gonna be fired up with that dual threat quarterback. Those tall, fast receivers. I'm gonna say that Mizzou sneaks one in and
I knew you'd do that.
And gets one over on the Dogs and the Tigers steal the show.
All right. Well.
So I'll probably live to eat those words next week. You can say I told you so, but
I would never do nothing like that.
I know you wouldn't, but I think
maybe on Facebook, but not on camera.
Yeah, you will on Facebook. I can tell Saturday night if Georgia wins, you'll be posting on there. Hey Stan, how about them Dogs?
But anyway, that's going to wrap up this edition of Charlton Sports Weekly. Hopefully we'll be back here next week again.
Yeah.
Until then, check out the live broadcast tomorrow, maiden softball, and Friday night with football against Ware County, and then look for the rebroadcast of the Bethune game from Saturday.
Go Indians.